fills me up with gooey warmness. So what is up, y'all? My name is Devin, and today we're going to be talking about what PEDs have I taken thus far. Before we get into the video, please make sure that you understand that I'm not a doctor, I'm not your physician. I myself have not purchased or used any illegal substances. Okay, let's go ahead and comment PED in the comments down below. Let's go. All right, y'all, so before I get into what PEDs I have taken, I want to go ahead and give you guys some of like what my mindset was as to why I actually decided to pull the trigger and take any sort of performance enhancing drug. And the reason for that is because I think, in my opinion, that I started too early. I started T on a baby microdose. Everybody knows this. I started off at 0.2. My levels were in like the 200s, mid 200s, a little bit reaching the 300s for like a couple of months. Probably after a year, I think I was only in the 500s. After like a year and a half, I reached finally the 600. Right now, sitting at the top level of the 700s, maybe reaching the 800s, and I'm trying to push that a little bit further, but that's not the point right now. When I first started working out, I was pre-T, I was on T, and because I was on such a baby dose, I didn't understand that that was not really affecting my body the way that I wanted it to. My biggest driver to taking anything was my chest. I felt like I was just killing myself. In the gym, I was training bench hard as fuck. I was doing everything, like training like a fucking beast. I was eating, and I was just getting like thick, but I wasn't starting to see definition, and my chest was getting fluffy, but not nothing to put a tape on so that I didn't have to wear a binder. I still had to bind every single day. I was working at a job as a medical assistant at a pediatrics place, and it was a lot of running around, and I just felt fucking uncomfortable. And on top of that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was a little bit of an ego thing because I had been working out. People would ask me at my job, like, what do you do, bro? Like, what do you do for your hobbies? You play guitar or anything like that? And I'd be like, no, I work out. And they'd be like, you work out, bro? You fucking work? Yeah, you work out. What, you do like CrossFit? And I'll be like, bro, no, I do like weight training, like bodybuilding and powerlifting. And they'd be like, oh, okay, little dude, awesome. They'd be like, I used to do yoga back in the day too, bro, so I feel you, man. And I'd be like, fuck you, like, I literally kill myself every day. Like, at that time, I think I was waking up like mad early, or I was going to the gym like after work. I was working out at like 10 o'clock at night. I was killing myself, and I felt like I was not seeing the results. Okay, so I reached out to hella people. I think I reached out to like 4 people, and one person, my homie, my fucking homie, you know who you are, bro, was like, yo, this is what I would do. I'd suggest you wait as long as possible. If you're gonna do it, be safe, all this stuff. And he pretty much gave me advice. The first PED that I took, I actually read a shit ton of studies, even though it's kind of hard to decipher those things, but I did read studies with like the charts of control groups, and like, I'm not gonna do steroids just yet. I think even at the time I was like, I'm not ever doing steroids, fuck that shit, I'm not trying to die, son. But little did I know, the shit that I would go on to take, organ toxic as actual steroids, so I kind of took an L. So the first thing I took, and the only things that I've taken thus far, are Sarms, selective androgen receptor modulator. Pretty much take a SARM, it's most of the time liquid. You can take injectables, but that's pretty tough. Most of the time it's a liquid oral. You take it and it binds, the chemical binds to your androgen receptors. Some of them are myostatin inhibitors. Myostatin is what prevents you from getting muscle. So if you're taking a myostatin inhibitor, this means that it has the opposite effect, which means that it promotes, deactivates that inhibitor, allowing you to grow more muscle than your body would naturally have allowed you to. A lot of guys who were endorsing SARMs before have sort of taken a step back. SARMs do not have the long-term studies as regular steroids do. Like, whatever, you have your test, trend, mast, Anavar, all these things, you pretty much know what you're getting yourself into, because these dudes, like bodybuilders, have been taking steroids, like actual anabolics, for decades, like since Arnold, pretty much, essentially. People like the Russians, essentially, like not Arnold, the Russians pretty much started steroid use. SARMs do not have the same level of history. People do not know how it will affect you in the long run. It's only been present since like 2007, I think was the first study I saw, something like that. Please do not ask me where you can get this. I will not tell you. It's just not worth it. The reason I'm telling you this is because there's probably somebody out there who has something and they're like, oh, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna look like this. And it's like, nah, son. The first thing I ever took was a SARM called Osterine. Pretty much, I know of a lady, and she competed before, and she was looking to compete again, and she was like, hey, my coach put me on this SARM. It's called Osterine. And I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but I was like, yo, like, what's up with that? That's like a steroid? And she was like, no, Devin. It's not a steroid. It's just a little SARM, and it's not as liver toxic, and you just take it and just boost your gains just a tiny baby bit. I was like, okay, bet. Can he get me some? some? And then she was like, I don't know, I'd have to ask. Come to find out, homeboy was charging like 120 for Ostarine, which is a fucking crazy amount of like money to pay for Ostarine. That's pretty much like fucking finesse. I was not gonna pay that much. So I did research, and when I thought that I had done enough research, I purchased it for like, I believe 50 bucks. I only purchased one bottle. So I purchased this Ostarine from a website that I thought I had done a lot of research on. Everybody on Reddit says it's legit. And I got the shit, and I took the shit at a dose that all the videos I had watched told me to take the dose at. And guess what? It was bunk as fuck. Bunk means that shit does not fucking work, bro. It does not work. They gave you a bottle of random ass shit. You wasted your money on it. You wasted your time on it. You wasted your hope and your dreams thinking that this was gonna boost your games, because it did absolutely nothing for you. Guess what? I got this shit and it did absolutely zero for me. Zero. Okay, it did nothing for me. So not to mention, apparently it doesn't matter what fucking SARM it is, they're all just as toxic as steroids, but yield most of the time like half the gains, not even half the gains, 25% of the gains like regular anabolics. So it's like way less results, because it's easier to get this than it is to get this, and you think it's safer, but it's not, because the TikTok boys say that SARMs are safe. Thumbs down didn't really do shit for me, okay? So the next thing I took, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take the big boy shit, you dig? I'm gonna take something that's really gonna fucking make me look crazy. I did the SARM that everybody says is the SARM to end all SARMs, and lo and behold, with my bad luck, it did nothing for me. I took Ostarine for like 1 month at like a baby dosage because I was too cheap to buy another bottle. Good thing I didn't, because it was fake as fuck anyways, which is like the reason why you shouldn't buy SARMs anyway, because you don't know what you're getting at all. The next thing I took was for a month and I microdosed the fuck out of this because SARMs are expensive as shit and I didn't have the money. So the next thing I took was RAD 140, RAD 140. It's supposed to be like a super potent, it's pretty much supposed to be like the SARM of testosterone, like just as anabolic as testosterone. And I'm sure if someone gets the real shit, first of all, which you never know what you're fucking getting, and they dose it properly, second of all, I'm sure they would get actual results from it. Myself got placebo from it, and I realized that after I came off of it. I came off of RAD, I took it for like a month. I took it at a microdose because the bottles were like 70 bucks each, and I didn't want to spend like 140 plus tax plus shipping plus fees, because shit's so expensive. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy one bottle, and since it's so potent, even if I microdose it, it'll still have an awesome effect for me, and it did not, okay? So I took it for like a month at a microdose, and it did nothing for me, and in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm taking this shit every day, gonna get strong as fuck, and I got slight gains in my bench and my deads, and I was like, oh my god, this shit works. Like, it's not crazy, but it works. And then I stopped taking it because I ran out, and I literally held on to the same exact amount of gains, the same amount of strength, and I was like, oh, so all it really did was essentially like break down a mental barrier I had, and it caused like a placebo effect, because even months and months and months after taking that shit, I was able to sustain the same level of strength and gains, so it did nothing. There's about like a month time period between me taking Ostarine and RAD, so after that I took about 2 months off, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a recomp. I want to see my abs, and I also want to get bigger at the same time. So what can I take that's gonna do that for me, okay? What can I take as a recomp cycle? I did mad research, and I found a SARM that's supposed to help burn fat, essentially, called S4, and I found a SARM that's supposed to make big as fuck, essentially, called LGD, I don't remember what all these bitches got numbers after the letters, and I don't remember. I just remember it was LGD, okay? Mind you, I spent like $300 total on the cycle because I had to buy 2 bottles of each, and each bottle was like $70 in order to complete the full cycle, because I didn't want to do what I did with RAD, how I only microdosed it for a small amount of time. And lo and behold, I got it, and what happened was S4 made me blind at night, which they say, I know, everybody's like, yes, Devin, they say that happens, and it's like, yes, they say it happens at a certain dosage. I was starting off at the smallest dosage possible, and people say that you get this vision blindness and all this stuff at double that dose. So I was like, if I'm taking it at half the dose that people anecdotally are saying that they're getting the side effects at, then I should be safe. Really, bro, if I'm driving at night, can't see shit, like how the lights are on right now, if I turn the lights off and it's pitch black, I could not see anything. It would be like I had my eyes closed. And then also on top of that, during the daytime, everything was yellow. Like, it was like I was wearing yellow sunglasses. So it's pretty fucking sick and disgusting, and I hate that, and it's not fucking worth it, okay? So I started taking S4 with LGD, and the S4 started doing that shit to me, so I was like, fuck it, I'm out of here, son. So I stopped doing that shit. I wasted like 150 bucks on that shit. I still have it in my cabinet. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna stop taking S4. I just resorted to taking only the LGD, which I was kind of weary of because everybody said that LGD makes you like puffy, it makes you hold a shit ton of water, it makes you bloated, it makes you like lack muscle definition, just a lot of water retention and a bubbly look. So I was like kind of weary taking it. As much as I do not advocate for SARMs, do not fucking take them, do not ask me where you can take them, do not take them at all. But I know you guys are gonna do what you wanna do. LGD, out of all the SARMs that I did take, in a very idiotic, stupid, and half cycle microdose way, LGD, I believe, was the only SARM that I did dose properly for the correct amount of time while taking my diet seriously and while pushing myself in training. I believe that I yielded the most results from that. The second that you stop taking this shit, if you're really taking it, like how I said on Rad, I was able to sustain my strength and my gains and everything after that. When I was taking LGD, like the end of the cycle is when I hit 225. Really it just helped my bench progress on my dumbbell press. When I was dumbbell pressing for shoulders, the 75-pound dumbbells, that was LGD. When I benched 225, that was LGD. I could still rep out the 65s. I could hit the 70s for like 2 reps. 75s I cannot touch. For bench, I can bench 185. I can hit like a 1 rep max of 200. 225, I'm not hitting a 1 rep max of that at this current moment. My deadlift never progressed at all on LGD, and I don't really know why that is. I hit 405 like 2 weeks after taking it. It really had nothing to do with the LGD. It didn't help my deadlifts, it just didn't. I will say this, you go from feeling like I'm strong as fuck. So the second you stop taking any type of SARM, any type of steroids, you stop taking it, and guess what? You're gonna drop. My physique, I look less big, I look drier for sure, but I look less big, my shoulders are less capped, and my traps are less popping, I'll be honest with you guys. But the thing is that once you stop taking the shit, you're gonna feel like shit. Once you take performance enhancing drugs, you're not gonna wanna go back to the natty lifestyle because you're not gonna feel 150%. If your diet's on point, your sleeping's on point, your training is on point, and you're taking everything 100% seriously, you're still not gonna be able to give the same output as if you're on a PED. It's just the truth. With that being said, I've still continued to see great results with my training and just pushing myself that extra edge harder. Being technically natty right now, I've continued to see progress in my deadlifts, in my bench. It's everybody's personal choice to take something. If you're gonna take something, do all the research around it. Take supplements for cycle support. Take it fucking seriously. It's not just a one and done. What you take now can affect you in the future. You never know what these chemicals can do to your body, especially SARMs. That is the video, y'all. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, like it. Let me know what videos you want to see from me in the future. Like I always say, Devin loves you, Devin's a Don, and Devin is out of here, boy.